going on, Facebook? How y'all doing? I don't know if you can hear me. Let me turn this music down, man. Hold on. Just want to say good afternoon to everybody. I'm finally getting out of the house. If you know me, you know like on Thursdays is my day to recover and recuperate. But I'm so excited today because today is the day that my son, he turned 18 yesterday, and today is the day that he's going to join me in business. We're going to become business partners today. He's excited. I'm excited. We're going to become business partners today. So what does that mean, right? I sat back and thought about that. All the generations of my family that I know of, the people that I know, right? Oh, my back. This thing's a little low. But yeah, thought about it. And I said, wow. You know, while a lot of people, they can't get their children jobs without asking somebody else, can they give their child a job? And think about it. These people that, because people can be very, I want to say rich, to say the least, in their actions and in their speech, right? And they people are very judgmental and things like that. And first of all, I want to say on the record that all my money and everything that I do and that I make is legal. And for a good part of my income, I don't have to depend on another man or woman for that. What does that mean? That means that if I lose my job today, I wouldn't be in a rush to find another one. Right? I actually like what I do. It keeps me sharp, and the health benefits are great where I am. What's up, my brother Fahim? Hey, man, we put on a show last night, Fahim. It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. I wouldn't want to, quote unquote, grace the stage with anybody else. I really appreciate it, man. Really, really, really do appreciate it. But yeah, just saying it to say, everything that I've worked hard. I've spent a lot of time in construction and all this stuff like that, and I did whatever I had to do so I can provide for my family. But once they started getting bigger, I started thinking about my future, which I never thought about before. And now I'm actually in a position where I can put my son in a position where he never go have to beg someone for a job. How many generations of your family went by and people haven't had that ability? So when I do these lives, this is what is fueling me. These are the things that I'm talking about, is to put your family in a position where you can be in control of your income. I don't want anybody to quit their job. And there's nothing bad. If someone has a good job that they like, that's great. Like I said, I like my job. But I know I would never own the company that I work for. I know that if my son needs a job, or my daughter needs a job, or my niece or nephew or whoever, one of my little cousins need a job, I can't say, yeah, come on in at that company. I would have to get permission, and they would, do favors, and, they would have to go through the process like everybody else, because I don't own it. And a lot of people, they don't even have that ability to refer someone to a job because they barely keep in theirs. So there's nothing wrong with a job. A job is a great place to start, but a terrible place to finish. And I've read a lot of books, and I heard a lot of stories, and I've never heard of anyone becoming wealthy by working a job alone, number one, or saving their way to wealth. That just doesn't happen in America. But now I put my son in a position where he may never have to work for another man in his life. And I was able to do that. Oh, absolutely, absolutely, man. Next week we're gonna do it again. I'm gonna post the link. Absolutely, man. You know, just sharing. That's a good point, Fames. Yeah, some folks missed it. You know, life gets in the way. You know, sometimes, and you know, I understand that. You know, we have to do what we have to do. But you know, that first step, even as a, you know, when you were a baby, right? That first step was the hardest. I remember trying to teach my daughter how to walk when she was little, and she was real fat. She was a real fat little baby, and she was scared to take the first step, like very, very scared to take the first step. I actually got her. I remember the day that I actually got her to really walk. I was eating a cheesesteak, and she wanted some, and I was far away from it, and she just got up, seriously, and walked to the food, right? But I just wanted to, you know, come on here and, you know, because I don't think that I think a lot of times people think that people are on here just, you know, just to you know, be on here playing on Facebook, or just to waste time. And you know, I'm really in the business of paying it forward. You know, I want to offer people, that's control, but building something and being able to say, hey son, I don't need no permission from anybody. You want to come and you can partner with me, and I can and I can introduce you to a group of entrepreneurs that will be more than willing to help you, right? Teach you what I know, teach you what they know, right? How many people out of the thousands of friends that I have, maybe a handful can say that they have the ability to do that, right? The old adage of you know, work hard work, and go to school and get a good job, that doesn't exist anymore. There's no perpetual job anymore. There's no perpetual job like our great-grandparents had. They worked at Sparrows Point, or they worked in this, you know, steel mill in a factory for 50 years and then got a pension. And just so people know, I have 3 pensions already. Right? I used to be a construction worker. I was smart enough to be a union construction worker for nearly for about 23 years. I was in 2 different unions. So you know, you have a local pension and an international pension. You know, so I'll be getting those. I never put my faith in the 401k or what have you. I never put my faith in that. I do have one, but I don't put faith in it. It's a glorified savings account. You know, anywhere that has your money sit, while other people make money off, it doesn't benefit you in the long run. And these are all things. Name me the wealthy person that has the 401k. But the richest people in the world don't have 401ks. They don't have nothing against, you know, your retirement plan, your savings plans. You know, rich people have residuals, things that will pay them over and over and over. And these are the things that I'm going to teach to my son who's just turned 18, right? Because I didn't have anybody to teach me these things because they didn't know them, right? They didn't know them. So they taught me the best way that they knew. And that was to go and ask somebody for a job. And the reality of it is this. You know, when people are on these jobs, man, you can't even be yourself on a job. I remember one time, man, they had people, you know, man, you can't even say and do what you want. I'm not that kind of person. I'm the type of person to cut my nose off, spite my face. Doesn't matter to me. But I have pride, right? That was one thing that my dad taught me, is to have pride. You know, so I say what I want to say, but the reason why on the job, the reason why I'm able to do that is because I don't solely depend. Lolo now, how you doing, Lolo now? Hey, y'all, Ruffin-El is a great photographer. You know, she's been won a couple of contests, being featured on grand stages. You guys look up Ruffin-El. She's definitely a dope photographer out of the Philadelphia marketplace, right? Yeah, so you know, because I don't depend on them 100% for my income, then I don't have to be afraid of any consequence that may or may not, you know, happen as a result of what I may say or do, right? You know, you have to be in control. People that have no control, and I'm not saying that you got to be wild and ignorant and all this stuff like that, but, you know, you don't have to be violated. You don't have to be treated and talk. Man, I heard some of these people. First of all, I don't have a boss. I may have a manager or a supervisor or something like that, but you know, I'm my own boss, right? I work on someone else's job because, you know, calling someone else boss, it creates a psychological thing to where you're inferior to someone, right? And we don't operate like that. We're not inferior to anyone because we know exactly who we are and we know who our forefathers are, and we are who our forefathers are without a doubt or contradiction. And notice I said who our forefathers are, not who they were, who they are, right? So yeah, I'm just glad to be in the position to whereas I can offer my son something more than a job. I can offer him a different perspective than a job, right? Today is the day that he and I can become business partners and we can understand each other on a different level. And, you know, it's a thing for a man to be able to provide for his family. But the one thing that I always taught my son is not to let anyone control his income. See, because you can be fired from a job just because your supervisor's mad that day, he or she didn't get a coffee, or they can have an attitude or things mentally going on, and you can be fired from that job through no fault of your own. I was in the construction industry for over 20 years, and I've lost multiple jobs. Some of them were on purpose, you know, my own fault, right? But some of them was just no fault of my own. After the building was finished being built, they had no use for me anymore. Because that's how the industry goes. Then you have to go on unemployment, you know, until, you know, the union call you back with another job or whatever. But I wasn't in control of anything at that point. You know, and I always tell my son, if you don't control your income, someone else does, and if someone else controls your income, they control you too. They control you too. You know, so that's what these lives are about. You know, we don't charge anything to get into our webinars. We don't charge anything. You know, show me a workshop or a webinar online that is free for you to come and look and take an in-depth look to exactly the moves that are being made and what we are doing to create income. You show me where that is. You know, and we're not talking about no mining Bitcoin and no Forex trading, you know, all the things that are trendy, right? We're not talking about that kind of stuff. Is that stuff profitable? Maybe so. I don't know. You know, but yeah, it's really it's amazing to me how people will judge a man if he doesn't have a job, but he does have an income. I see this guy every day, right? This guy sells socks every day. If you go up on in Baltimore, up on what's that right there? Wabash and Northern Parkway. He hangs out there a lot of times. And he sells his socks. And I see people, they treat that man like he's homeless. That man's been selling them socks for years and years and years. And he probably makes $150 a day, maybe tax-free. You know, sells socks. You would think that everybody has socks, right? That there's a saturated market for socks because everybody has them. But nope, he's still doing it. And unless he's insane, he's there every day. So I assume that he must be making a profit because he always has more socks, and he comes there every day. Doesn't work for anybody. He governs his own income in that regard. But people will look at him like he's crazy for not having a job when there's no security in the job. Just ask the healthcare workers that have been laid off during this pandemic. They laying off healthcare workers. I know several people that work in hospitals, and some of those jobs are not coming back. In the hospital, right? So, no job is secure. There's no such thing as job security anymore because the way we live is changing, right? Technology is changing the way we live. Technology is changing it. The best thing that you could, do is teach your children about economics. I don't have a problem with anybody having a job or anybody owning their own business, but at the end of the day, I built something where I don't have to ask someone for permission for my son to come and work with me. Don't have to ask. And I think that in and of itself is powerful. Because nobody in my family has ever been able to do that. So, definitely excited to be able to partner with my son or him partnering with me. More updates to come. Check out the YouTube channel. It's the same as my name is on here, Davon Ruffin-El. That's who I am. Thanks for watching, Brad, Kia. Y'all check out Lolo Nell's photography. Kia Amazing's Baked Goods on Instagram. Kia Amazing's Creations, Kia with a K. Creations with a K. Check her out. And subscribe and share this, man. These are just my thoughts that I share on here. Just my thoughts. But yeah, man. Just sit and think that if you're not in control of your income, you're not controlling that. Who is? And if they control your income, then they control every aspect of your life, especially in today's society. If you man, it's when you start to think about it, it's just crazy. If you value yourself so highly, why do we settle and allow someone to put an hourly wage on our value? If I were to ask one of you on this live, if I could write a check for you, how much would it be? There would be so many commas and zeros, and some of you might even say that, hey, you can't afford me, and you can't afford me. right? Because I'm worth X amount. You can't afford me. I'm not for sale. But yet every day, people driving crazy out here, man. But yet every day, people go into these jobs for not even a fraction of what they believe that they're worth if you would have asked them that question. If you think I'm lying, ask someone. Ask someone, hey, if I could buy you, how much would you charge me to buy you? And once they get offended, because it may offend them. Once it gets offended, once it offends them, then ask them, well, if that's the case, why do you sell yourself to the job for a fraction of that? And be prepared for the blank stare afterwards. That's because these people have absolutely no control, man. No control. And it's not their fault, right? It's not their fault. This is the way that we've been conditioned here. So when you see somebody like me who's a regular guy, anybody that knows me on it, they know that I'm a regular guy. I didn't come from the Silver Spoon district of West Baltimore, if that even exists. I didn't come from the Silver Spoon district. I don't come from money, anything like that. And I was able to do this out of just because of the will, just because this is what I wanted to do. I figured that this would be, a thing that I could do to build for something for me and my family in the future. I'm not saying that it's better than anybody else, right? Nothing's better. It's different. It's different. It's different because I wanted to have control over my income. And people will say, well, everything's not about money, and that's true too. But if you don't have it, life in America and anywhere in the world, unless you're gonna go and live in the bush, which there's still currency there too. But if you don't have it in this society of capitalism, life is very difficult. So money isn't everything, but everything is very difficult with the lack of it. Everything is very difficult with the lack of it. Thank you, Lois. I appreciate you sharing the live. I just hope that what I'm saying can inspire someone to just understand that, hey, look, there's more than one way. There's more than one way. And don't succumb to the pressure of people, what people are going to say. And, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. People ask me all the time, am I rich? I've been rich before I had money. There's no amount of money that can make me rich. I'm not looking to be rich. I'm looking to build wealth for people that I'm never going to meet. I'm looking to build wealth for family members that I'm never going to meet. And think about that. With what you're doing right now, how is that working out? Because people say, "Oh, I'm doing this for my children," or that's the reason why I get up and go to work every day. I'm doing this for them, and then they'll end up doing that for 40 years, and retire, and have nothing but debt to leave the kids. Nothing but debt to leave the children. So my goal is to leave my family in a situation financially where they don't have to worry about money, so they can be who they are. They can be who they are. My name is Davon Ruffin-El, right? I am that person. That's who I am every day, all day. There's no supervisor, no boss, none of that make me change. You know, I am who I am because they can't control me because they don't control my income. So they can't dictate the way I live. So I can govern myself on the principles that I set for myself, right? I know this is going a little long, but yeah, it's just, you know, so glad that I was able to be in a position. And I'm willing to help anybody, you know. I'm willing to help anybody. There's no I'm willing to help those that are willing to help themselves. If you need help, you want to see what we're doing, all you have to do, leave a comment. Or if you don't want to be public, send me a message directly into my inbox. And I'm telling you, I'm just a regular guy. A regular guy. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, search me on YouTube. I'm going to drop some videos. The platform is now up. K Amazing's Creation, 2Ks on Instagram and Facebook. Check out Lolo Now, the dopest photographer in Philly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys continue to have a good day.